think we are live. Okay, so it's Mrs. Moore here, and Mr. Moore is here too.
Hi.
And tried a little bit different setup from my 2 o'clock, so hopefully that works. Okay, you have to be quiet, Mark. Okay, all right.
See, they can see my eyes.
All right, so please let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm going to try to speak up nice and loud and clear, and I'm going to show some stuff on the screen. Welcome to distance learning, like for real now. So I'm just going to kind of go over how to navigate Google Classroom and just remind you of some of the important things that are going on, give you some tips. So on Google Classroom, does that look better on there than it does on here? Can you see the screen okay?
I can.
Like, can you see what?
I can see it.
Sort of, not really. Ugh, the screen looks yucky. I'm trying to figure out how to make it look better. All right, so when you go to Google Classroom, if you're on your regular Google Classroom feed and it looks like this, when it has too much white, for some reason it doesn't look good, but okay. So when you're on your Google Classroom feed, sorry, I want to tell everybody too, there's a spot down there in the comments and the chat. Feel free to participate in the live chat. Ask questions, we'll address them. Mr. Moore will answer your questions in the live chat while I talk. So yeah, participate. So on Google Classroom, you'll see all your classes. They're all on here, yay. And so when you very first look on Google Classroom and you look, you're gonna see the assignments that are due. So like under period 6 history, you see article, Why World War I Still Matters, choose a do something campaign for final project, and midterm that are all due today. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff right now, but some of it we told you about a while ago. So I figured, hopefully you are getting all caught up to it. So the most important thing for today is the midterm. Please make sure you get that in. The tips that I have for you about the midterm. It is really important on the midterm that you take the time to look up things that you don't know. I have made the midterm as such that it is not cheating to go on the internet and look up stuff you don't know. We've been talking about research and responsible research, and so I want you to be able to do responsible research well. If you see a name on there that you're like, who is that? I don't know who that is, whatever, then, go ahead and take the time to look it up. The only thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to ask peers for answers. So no texting your friends or anything like that. But, other than that, it's okay to look up the answers to things because I wrote it in such a way that you're not really going to find the answers, although you might find information that will help you get to the answers. So that's due at 11:59 p.m. And the other thing that you're going to find on Google Classroom. So initially you see just those very 3 assignments that are due, but I want to talk about the classwork tab. When you're on Google Classroom, and I'm navigating just from my phone. So this is just from your your own phone or Chromebook, but on your phone, it's really easy to find too. So if you click the classwork tab, there are several things that I have pinned to the top. What's due tonight is the midterm and the article and the do something. The article, if it doesn't get done today, no big deal, but a lot of you did it over in March anyway. And the do something is easy, and that's for English too. And if you don't get that done by Friday, no big deal either. But the midterm, it's pretty important you get that done right away. So midterm is important. So when you're very first on the screen and you look, and if you have a computer right now to look at, or if you're on a computer watching this, or even on your phone and you can go and pop into the tabs to see what's on Google Classroom, you might want to follow along. So on there, I have the distance learning plan, and I have your distance learning tasks. So if you click on distance learning task from March through May, then you'll see assignment to-do list March, which was the stuff that I gave you when we left on March 13th, and the assignment to-do list April, June. So take a look at that. That's where we're mostly going to be today. Gosh, I really wish the quality looked better on there, like that you could actually see what was on the screen.
Yeah, it's worse in some way.
I know, it's kind of better earlier today. Well, anyhow.
What about closer?
If I get the computer closer? No, I think it gets worse. Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
That's
All
better
right.
right there.
Okay, hold up, y'all. I'm gonna move closer.
Maybe we get you a stool.
No, hold my phone.
A step stool.
No. It's okay. I don't have to be in it. But I'm gonna get closer.
Oh yeah, that's better.
I'm gonna get way closer.
But you just need
see, but then it adjusted again? Maybe not.
So cute.
I am losing this battle. This
It was
harder
better.
than I thought. But I have to
That's better.
But is it gonna adjust?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay, I'm just gonna
I
have
could
to
actually see everything.
I'm gonna have to do that occasionally. No, see, it's gonna adjust. Oh, and that's my phone dead now. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try to just make this work, okay? So when you look at the assignment to-do list, that assignment to-do list is probably the most helpful thing that there is available on there for you. So mirror image here.
There we go.
So in the assignment to-do list, you will see that the first week is World War I stuff, that we are going to be talking about World War I this week. There's just one article. We're not going to spend a whole heck of a lot of time on World War I because you spent so much time on it in 10th grade that it just doesn't feel really necessary. So it's an article, and in addition to the article, this just isn't going to work here. I'm just going to sit.
Give more books.
No, I think it is what it is.
No, give more books.
So the very first thing is that. Wait, I think I got it.
Oh yeah. I think so too.
Okay, that's better quality. All right. So you're barely gonna see me. Oh, but if I come up, oh, it's me. It wants me. Okay. I'm gonna sit down. Y'all gonna hear me? When you are in the frame, it focuses on you. Thank you, Lynette. You are so smart. Okay, so I'm gonna sit down. That's what I'm gonna do. Y'all gonna hear me talk? And we'll just point it at the screen. Okay, so if you look at the World War I assignments, it says why World War I still matters, due Wednesday. That is the article that I gave you back in March. It's due tonight, but all due dates are flexible. That is like a complete school-wide policy right now, that all due dates are flexible. We're giving you guidelines for due dates, but we know that, gosh, with internet things or with sharing a computer with someone or whatever, it might be hard to get your due dates in. So it's necessary that you check in each week. You can't wait until May 15th and then be like, oh, hey, here I am. Can I turn in 2 months worth of work? But as long as you're turning stuff in, all due dates are flexible. But this week is about getting through the midterm and World War I, and it's the article. Then next week, we've got World War II on the home front. And so, because I know that you spent a lot of time last year learning about the Holocaust and the different battles of World War II and all that stuff, we're not going to focus on all the battles and all that this year. This year, we're just going to focus 1 week on World War II, on what it was like at home. What were the lives of regular Americans like? What were the way that they were impacted? And so what we're going to do for that is we're going to do a project that is an oral history project. So these historians went out and they interviewed people who were teenagers and young adults during World War II, and they asked them about what their experiences were like. For those who got jobs, or for those who, stayed home, or if their parents went away to war. So it's gonna, talk a little bit about that. So each person in the class is going to be assigned their own person from the World War History Project, to listen to them talk about what their life was like, and you'll just take some notes on it. It's a really easy assignment. It won't take that much time. And then the other thing that I have for you that week is some crash course videos to just get some notes on it. And then a video about, it's a movie for extra credit. It's American Girl. I don't know if any of you enjoyed the American Girl books when you were a kid. I really loved them. They first came out when I was in 5th grade. They're historical fiction about people who were children during different historical times. And Molly's book is about what it is like to be an American girl during World War II. So it's the cutest war movie you'll ever seen. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but seriously, it's a cute movie. It's extra credit. It's on YouTube. And I will have Mr. Moore post it in the comments, or I'll post it later tonight too. Molly, an American Girl on the Home Front. So that'll be extra credit, and there's an assignment to do with that too. So that's the only stuff for World War II. Next week is a pretty light week. And then next week is the cutoff for grades too. And you'll be working on your do something projects too. I'll talk about that a little bit also. Today, all that's due for the do something project is you just have to pick something. You don't have to start working on the project till next week, but you just want to pick something for this week. Then when we get to April 27th to May 1st, we're going to transition to talking about the Cold War, which wasn't a real war, and then the Vietnam War and the Korean War, the various wars that happened in Asia over communism and trying to prevent communism. The reason that I'm going to spend a lot more time on the Vietnam War is not just because I know that you didn't spend as much time on it in 10th grade, but also because it had a profound impact on American politics. It was the most divided that America had been at that point. During World War II, everybody was just like, yes, we must gather together and unite to achieve victory over all of these horrible dictators. But that's not what happened in Vietnam War. In the Vietnam War, half the people were like, we don't need to be the police of the entire country. And I mean, of the entire world. But then the other half the people in the country were like, oh, we have to do it. We have to stop communism. Communism is dangerous to the United States. Like, we must do this. So you had a lot of division. And that led to a lot of protests, especially because since it wasn't a very popular war, people weren't like signing up to go to war the way they were during World War II. And so they were drafting people, and people really hated the draft, which draft is when you have to like go to war even though you didn't intend to be a soldier. So there's a lot of protests over it, and we're going to talk about that in May, about how the Vietnam War divided the nation, that people were like way protesting over the war of Vietnam. And for this part that we look at in late May, in late April and early May, we are going to be using the textbook. So for that, we are going to, and I'm going to go to my Google Drive so you see it. I'm going to create textbook things that have what?
It's not really turning out so well.
I'm getting there.
The movie.
Oh, I'll find the movie later.
It's not doing well.
I'll get the movie later. Then don't worry about it. So chapter 16 is the one chapter of the textbook we're like really going to read. And what I did is I went ahead and just like screenshotted from the digital textbook. So if you can access the digital textbook and want to try the interactive one or the PDF on there, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm going to send out this one for you. I've only screenshotted the first lesson so far, but I'll get through the others too. So you'll get these and you'll be able to take notes on them the way that you would in any other one. So yeah, that is how that'll work. And so back to the distance learning tasks. So yeah, we're going to read all of chapter 16. There's going to be a couple of videos on that. Also, if you want to watch Forrest Gump, the movie Forrest Gump for extra credit, it is rated R, so your parents will have to get it for you, procure it for you, so that I know that you have permission, so I won't be sharing a link for that. But if you do manage to obtain it and your parents are okay with you watching a rated R film, Forrest Gump is all about really what life was like during the Vietnam War. So it's a fantastic movie. Then I have a Quizlet set there for you to study on that. Then finally, we're going to round up May with talking about how people are civically engaged and how the military, divides people. So there were some people in the Vietnam War, particularly young people, who were so opposed to it that they were protesting. So I'm sure like you've all seen the peace sign. The peace sign was a symbol that was very popular during the Vietnam War. And so you had these teenagers that wore these black armbands to school, and they were suspended by their principal because their principal was like, you can't wear that at school. And so they sued and said that they have a right to free speech, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court. So we are going to read an article about that. Do you have the right to free speech in school or not? And then that's around when your project is due, also your do something project. We tried to make those as simple as possible because the do something project is normally a lot bigger of a thing, but with you stuck at home and not able to do group work, it's much simpler than it normally would be. I'll do future sessions on that project, but for today, you just need to pick something. Then towards the end of May, we're going to talk about the draft and also just who is in the military today. What do the demographics look like? Why do people sign up? There is no draft now. I mean, you still technically, they could draft you, but they haven't in a really long time. And so we're going to talk about how that draft works so that you understand if America were to go to war, who could possibly get drafted and what that would look like. And then we were initially going to have a debate on it in class, but since we can't have an in-class debate, I have it right now set as a writing assignment, but I'm thinking about making it that we could do like a debate in Zoom. And then if you didn't want to come to the Zoom debate, then you would do the writing assignment. Of course, if you did the debate during Zoom though, you would have to like actually participate. So, and then I have just a whole week for review. The test on modern wars is on everything. When I say modern, I mean like with guns and tanks and stuff like that and airplanes. So that's World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, Operation Iraqi Freedom, which it'll talk about a little bit in week 16. So the test on modern wars is like a bigger test actually than the final exam because it'll cover everything from April and May. So it's like 6 weeks worth of material. So I planned a whole week just to like review on that. That's it, just studying. I'll do some study sessions. I'll plan some games. It will be good fun. And then I also have a week in June to just wrap up the semester with what does it mean to be a citizen today in the United States. And there's an upfront article, could you pass the US citizenship test? If any of you have parents who have gone through the naturalization process, you'll know that they have to study. There's 100 questions that they have to study, but then they only get asked 10 of them when they actually go for the test. And so I'm going to do it the same way that you will be given all 100 to study. There's lots of materials. If you just Google study for the American citizenship test, you'll find so much stuff. The US government provides flashcards and practice tests and everything. But then the actual test will just be 10 questions. So you won't know which 10 questions you're going to get, but you'll have 10 questions. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do it because normally that one is a closed book test because the citizenship test is closed book. But it'll just be probably less points than if it was in class. So the final exam is going to be sent out June 8th, and it will be due June 10th by midnight with an opportunity to get some partial credit for anything that was wrong by June 12th. So yeah, also I put a little note about extra credit on the bottom. KCET, they have an app that's available on Roku and on Apple TV, and they also have just a channel on the regular like public television, and they've been posting things. I don't have a schedule for like, they only post their schedule for like a week at a time, but their stuff aligns very closely with the California standards for history, so they will be covering a lot of the same stuff we are. So keep an eye on those. If you see anything that relates, it will likely be extra credit, and I'll try to post some things too. I've just been posting a lot of extra credit in general, and I'm doing whole points grading now because since we're not in class, it sort of looks different. So just in general, if you see an assignment that you're like, I'm not feeling this assignment, I don't get it, and you want to do an extra credit one instead, that's totally fine. So the next important thing is the do something project. We put together this whole project sheet, Ms. Friel and I, that and Mr. Shoji's class is doing this as well, although I think your due dates are going to be a little bit different because of the AP test. But there's all these different options for projects that you can pick one and do. Make sure that when you pick one, because that's one of your assignments today, to pick one, that you do sign up for it. So like if you click this link, oh, create a thank you collage, it'll bring you to this. There's that blue sign up button there. Please make sure you actually press the sign up button and sign up to participate in this. And then they'll send you all the details, like ideas for how to do it and things like that. And so then I want you to be as specific as possible. So it says, make a thank you poster with pics of your friends on their new college campuses and give it to your former counselor. So this would be like contacting alumni and asking them to, say something nice or send some pictures about what college was like so that you can send stuff to the counselors as a thank you. You could do it as a video. You could do it as, just a collage image that you create in like Google Drawings or whatever. But make sure that you tell us in the form that we have for you to fill out where it says right here, choose a do something campaign. Yep, and make sure you give us as much detail as possible. Oh, I'd have to go through all this. On this form, though, it asks you, like, okay, which one are you doing? Now tell us all about it. If you choose the counselor one, make sure you say which counselor you're doing it for and how you're going to get in contact with alumni. And are you going to do a video or PowerPoint or like an actual like collage that you mail to them? Or, make sure you say what your plan is. So then the World War I stuff is on there. There's some extra credit for watching the Women at War on Netflix. I think only someone in period 3 has turned that in, maybe period 2. But yeah, it's on Netflix. If you find something else about World War I that you want to watch too, that's cool. It's extra credit. All the stuff from civil rights is the unit we already finished. So really going forward, you'll see your stuff more up here at the top now, and I have a calendar of all of our video meetings when we're going to have them and everything. So there's the blue ones are the Do Something project. If it says office hours, that just means I'm open for questions. If it says video meeting, it means it'll either be like this or it'll be a Google Hangout. If I want more participation from you, I'll do a Hangout or a Zoom. But a lot of them, I think it'll be like this because it's easier to focus like this. Otherwise, though, if it just says office hours or open call in for questions, it's just like call in if you feel like it. On the 29th, I know I'm getting there. I'm sorry. Is it clear now? Too close? Too close?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Okay. On the 29th, Ms. Friel and Mr. Moore and I are doing a joint session to answer your questions about the Do Something project. Because that is due, I think, the first week in May. So we want to make sure that we answer all your questions about that. I think that's all I have. I wanted to try to keep this under half an hour. So I'm going to try to wrap up now, but give time for questions.
There's not really any questions.
Well, maybe they have questions now. See, now I'll be in focus. Like Lynette's so smart, telling me how to make it work. Questions. What questions do you have about the rest of this semester or the curriculum or the Do Something project?
Oh, remember the comment
or the midterm
on here.
Oh, I forgot to talk about attendance.
Attendance. Yeah.
That's right. See, I'm so glad you're here.
Hi.
Yay. So it's getting really dark in here now. I should just open this up. So the attendance policy, Visa's new attendance policy that aligns with other schools that do distance learning. So even like if you have friends or peers who've done things like Mission View full-time or who have done like online homeschooling, the attendance policy now is if you turn something in, you're present. So turn something in every week. There will be something to turn in every week, and we're only going to take attendance once a week. We're going to take attendance every Friday, which is why if you see on the distance learning schedule that I sent out, that for history, you only have stuff due Monday and Wednesday, and then you kind of have like time to catch up too. So, but Friday is the day that I'm going to be like, hey, they didn't turn anything in this week. They're absent. However, if you have like technology troubles or you don't understand the assignment at all, or you were like babysitting all of your siblings and they were making you crazy, or if one of your family members gets ill or something like that, like just tell me like, hey, I couldn't do this week because this is what's up. And as long as you are in contact with me, you are present. So if I do something like this video chat and you comment, then like you are present. But you shouldn't need to really sort of, except for we have like spotlights and the reflection now.
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe if I just turn the TV on. Trying to figure out, oh, it's still spotlights. It looks like there's a car behind me and a motorcycle next to it. I lost my train of thought now because of like, oh yeah, attendance. So as long as you like turn something in for every class every week, then you will have 100% attendance. And we're working on incentives for attendance too. So turn something in every week or
What if they
participate.
say something on this post?
So yes, if you have commented, so Martin is present, although I know I don't need to worry about that because I know Martin and whoever the other Martin is. Martin is going to do the midterm tonight, and so Martin will be present. Yeah. Any other questions?
They're not a talkative bunch.
They're not, man, y'all, like the 2 o'clock chat was like,
I'm present.
Anisel is here. Thank you for being here, Anisel. We miss you all very much. It's very boring to sit and stare at my screen all day. Miss you too, Ashley. I think she was saying me too. I'm present, but I'm going to take it as you miss me too. Thank you for being present, Jennifer. So in general, y'all, I'm around. You can text me. I try to answer my texts like no matter what, anytime. Use Remind. Mr. Leandro is like all over the Remind now. So if you are not on the Remind for Visa students yet, make sure you get that code and get on the Remind for Visa students. Mr. Leandro is sending out lots of helpful stuff. Like today, he sent out a reminder to do the census. And if your family does the census, if you remember, I'm giving extra credit. That's posted on April 1st, but you can turn it in anytime. I'm going to leave it on April 1st because that was Census Day. Yay for the census. But if your family did the census and you post something about it, then you will get some extra credit for that. So give another minute or two for questions. Then we're going to go cook dinner.
What's going to happen with the rising?
Oh, it's going to be online. It's going to be like this, sort of. Actually, it's going to be less like this and more like my other videos, the ones where I talk through a PowerPoint. Because Mr. Leandro has a big, long PowerPoint that he has about senior year and what senior year is like. And so he's going to talk through his PowerPoint. And then at the end of the PowerPoint and the end of the video, there will be like a survey to fill out. And you have to like fill out the survey to be like, yes, I understand. I am on board with the rising senior stuff. You're all still going to be rising seniors. You're going to pass your classes. All is going to be good. We're working on summer school stuff and trying to make sure that even if there's a class you have a hard time passing, that you can get summer school, which may or may not be virtual. I don't know yet. But I try to tell you everything as soon as I know it. Oh, yeah, that is a little better. So, yeah, I do try to tell you things that I know them. Oh, I was going to put the link for the American Girl thing, too. Let me find that. The movie is called Molly, an American Girl on the Home Front, and it's super cute. It is one of my favorite American Girl movies. It is about a little girl who is living during World War II, and she learns to tap dance and all kinds of cute stuff. How are you going to pick classes for next year? That's kind of interesting and fun. So I will tell you what I expect is going to happen. Last year, they did an experiment with the 9th graders. Oh, wait, I should ask Vinny. Vinny! Sorry, I got to get my kid. Last year, they had the 9th graders do theirs actually on Aries. So there's a way on Aries you can like kind of schedule yourself. I think it's like a survey embedded in Aries. So that's what they did for the 9th graders last year. Hey, when you picked your classes, did you do it on computer or did you do it on Aries? I mean, or on paper?
For what?
For, hey, you all want to meet my son? Come here.
Hi,
this
everyone.
is Vinny. Vinny's going to be a 9th grader next year. So if you do the project that is write a welcome letter to the 9th graders, you'll be sending it to one of his friends probably.
or me.
But they already picked their classes before
What were you asking
everything.
about classes
When you guys picked your classes with the counselors,
for next year?
yeah, did you do it on computer,
It
or like did they have your advisory
was that
teachers,
day we
like,
went over to the Visa NPR.
right? But did they hand you a piece of
They
paper and
gave-
say fill it out?
Yeah, they gave us papers.
Oh, they give you paper. Okay, so last year with incoming ninth graders, like this year's current ninth graders, they had them do it on Aries. So I know there's a way on Aries. So maybe they'll do that, or they'll create like a Google form and be like, rate it. But I know, like, if any of you remember when they did the Google form that was for period 7, you can go now. That's what I wanted to ask. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
They did like, whereas like you had to go to a Google form and you had to like click through the screens to like read the descriptions of all of the 7th periods before you chose one and stuff. So it might be like that, but you will pick your classes for next year. I know that you will. So keep that in mind, that, you know, as of right now, our plan is definitely to come back to school in August. However, you know, I keep hearing things like the mayor said today that they're not going to let anyone do any like sporting events or big giant concerts. Like basically like Dodger Stadium is closed for the rest of 2020. So I don't know like what it all looks like. And then, you know, you just got to be prepared that this could be possible for like at least till next year. I don't know. So as of right now, our plan is to go back in the fall. So plan on having an amazing senior year and picking your classes and things like that. So other questions? I hope you all did the midterm already. Last time I checked, there was only like 80 responses on the midterm. So I hope there's more now. If you have questions while you're taking it, I'll do my best to address it, as long as it's not like 11:59 p.m. because I'm pretty tired. So I would suggest that you try to take it before 11:59 p.m. There are 119 of you, so there should be 119 people on the midterm stuff. The one last thing that I just want to close with before we go, and I'm gonna cook dinner. I don't even know how many responses I have now. 68. So we're about halfway there, a little more than halfway there. I just want to let you all know that we are very much committed to making sure that you do not fail this year as long as you try. That if you keep turning in work and giving it your best effort and showing up and staying in contact with your teachers, like, we will not let you fail. If you turn in assignments and they're not very good, we will, you know, normally we would walk around and be like, oh, like, hold on, let me help you. But since we can't do that, we'll just let you redo the assignments if you need to redo them. So really the message is like, just do work, try, and we will not let you fail. So do your work, do your work, do your work, and we won't let you fail. Please don't feel like I'm gonna fail because this is so hard. We'll let you redo things if it's so hard. And there's so many cool resources out there. Like for math, the LA Public Library has like online tutoring, and they'll like, you like show them your problem and they'll like work it out for you and then like tell you how to do it and then send you all the notes so that you can see how they did it. My son's using that and it helps a lot. So lots of resources out there, lots of colleges offering, college students that are offering free tutoring and things. So if you need help, we will get you help. We have some alumni that are planning to come help too and stuff. So any help that you need, we are here for you. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna wrap it up with that. And yeah, I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. If you haven't taken the midterm yet, take the midterm, take the midterm, take the midterm. You can go back and watch our review video first if you want to. Check out my review PowerPoint. Yeah. Have a wonderful night.